Alright guys, it is time for the AMA that I posted a day ago for you guys to ask me questions, preferably on video games and whatnot. I don't want to get too involved in my personal life about anything you want, any questions, any concerns. It doesn't have to be specifically for Azure Lane, but it's up to you guys on what you guys prefer asking me. So there are a lot of questions here. And if I don't go through all of them, it's because it's either it's a question I'm not comfortable answering, or it's an overlap, or simply it's just a dumb question. So I'm probably not gonna answer them. But I think I only skipped out like a few of them. So if I missed your question, whoops, my bad. But whatever. All right. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first question: you should make more updated, or it's not a question, but you should make more updated versions of Opside Guide, Ship Tier List, Gear Labs, Priorities, PvP, Research Guides. So, a lot of the guides I make now are pretty much good enough for you guys to run through it. I do make updates for like OS guides and whatnot. So, or not OS, but like Gear Lab videos, so you guys can look at those. But for the most part, nothing has changed. As for ship tier list, I'm not a big fan of this because there are some people in this game that are very, very anal towards specific views of ships. Like, oh, this person put this ship as tier S or something. Therefore, we all have to use that ship. No, I'm not going to be the person that encourages that. I'm always an advocate of play however you want because this game is super easy at the end of the day. Unless you're trying to go for like top end, like one shot kills with like high DPS or whatever. For the most part, you guys can use whatever ships you want, and I want to encourage that gameplay for everyone. So that's why I never made a specific like a tier list for ships. I avoid that because I don't want people to play however I view the game. I don't want that. Question number 2. The War Archives is they're another great weapon besides the French DD gun. What are drop rates, legendaries? Are there any good auxiliaries, stuff like that? So about War Archives. As of right now, there are only a few things I considered as like worth farming for in War Archives. One is the French DD gun, and the other is like Duke of York. Duke of York, as of right now, is still one of the premier battleships they can run for bossing and whatnot. So yes, I would farm her as well too. Otherwise, for gear, yeah, French DD guns are probably your best bet. There's nothing else in the War Archives that's worth farming for, at least not in my eyes, because you do only get 4 tickets a day, so you should use them wisely. And I say as of right now, the best uses of those War Archive tickets are going to be the French DD guns. And if you're done with that, get Duke of York. And whatever ship drops you're missing from War Archives, like some elite KMS ships you're missing for the fleet tech to get started on some KMS PR ships and whatnot, you can also do that as well. How far in the story can I get? How far in the main story can I get using Akagi and Kaga? Will there be a time when I'm forced to use higher DPS carriers? You can clear the whole game using Akagi and Kaga. Now, there are better options out there, yes, but you can still clear the game with them. That being said, the what you should prioritize most is the gear and the levels. If your carriers, Akagi and Kaga, are 125 with good gear, that will carry you throughout the rest of the game. Yes, there are better options out there, but you can go ahead and use that. For the most part, a lot of ships perform more or less the same thing in terms of damage. The only difference is that there are some skills like a 100% barrage or some kind of like self buff that's like really powerful that separates a specific ship from others. However, when you talk about like the average like carrier, the average battleship, they perform more or less about the same because there's the proc rate and then there's the other stuff that comes along with it. It's more or less the same. It's everything about side grades in this game. And this game does a really good job side grades. So you don't have to worry about like something getting replaced. If you want to use Akagi and Kaga for end game, you can go ahead and do that. But just keep in mind that if you are going to play that way, it may be difficult at times depending on the content you do. But you can definitely still do it if you have the proper gear and just know how to play the game in general. Number 4, what resources, websites, Discord, wikis, guides, or YouTube channels do you use for Azure Lane? I'm going to tell you guys right now, I, for the most part, avoid every single guide I've ever seen and whatnot. I think when I first started playing this game, I probably looked at like a few gear guides and whatnot because I don't understand how gear works. But that lasted for like probably like 2 or 3 months. After that, I just don't look at guides anymore. Most of my knowledge about this game comes from just personal experience. I played this game for thousands of hours, so a lot of it just comes from experience, and I just like play around like, oh, I'm gonna try out this gear, or I'm gonna try out this ship and whatnot. So I use just my knowledge and experience of the game because I play this game quite a lot, and just apply that knowledge into video content for you guys to watch. And then I give analysis and whatnot and advice based on things I personally tried out. So I can confirm that, like, oh, before I release this information to the public, I tested it out first and made sure it's good. So aside from that, though, just I don't look at guides. I look at the wiki sometimes for information, but that's pretty much it. Like just ship details and whatnot, or like ship skill info and stuff like that, and like maybe max stats. That's pretty much all I look at for just wikis and just playing the game altogether. What made you decide to play Azure Lane? So Azure, this is a funny story. So Azure Lane came out in about August 2018. I played it in closed beta and I played it on day one. Now the reason why I started playing Azure Lane was because I had a friend. At the time, I was playing a game called Logris, which is like a Unison League style game, very PvE oriented, a lot of co-op gameplay and whatnot in terms of combat. I played that game for about a year and a half, and around that time, I started dreading that game. The power creep was bad, the RNG was bad, but power creep in particular just made it bad. I had friends that quit because they got the power creep was insane. They couldn't spend all their, or they don't have enough gacha pulls to get the newest gear and whatnot to use for combat, for raids and whatnot. It got pretty bad. So one of my friends one day was like, "Hey, there's this game called Azure Lane coming out in about a month or so. We should all try that out." So I did, and at the time I was ready to do a full leap. When I first made the play the game. My bad. So I was about a 1.6k sub on YouTube, and I was ready to do a full jump to this game because I wasn't happy with Logris, so I wanted to do it. And I played the game a lot. I did a lot of research and whatnot about the game, and I really wanted to be just a dedicated YouTuber for this game because I believe that I had what it takes to just grind out the game because from just playing it back then. It was a very grindy game, and I love grindy games. So I thought that this game would be a perfect spot for me to just grow my channel because it's one of the few games out there for mobile that lets me play for hours upon hours a day if I choose to. And I just settled here. It's a fun game. I can play for hours or for like 15 minutes if I want to. And I just picked this game. It's just fun like that. Very, very cool. Best Azure Lane dojins. So I'm gonna put the new codes on the screen. You guys can look at them. But these are my favorites. Do you have any PC or console games? Most curious if you're excited for Elder Ring. So I do play PC games. It's just nowadays I'm not a big fan of PC games because PvP games like MOBAs and FPSs are basically the same old stuff, and I don't like playing those games. The most recent PC game I was playing was Halo Infinite. I played that for about a month or so, which was great. But then it got buggy and whatnot, so I stopped playing it. But I do play that. As for console games, I do play a lot of JRPGs, which are imported from console games, like Trails series. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys noticed that I use like Trails music almost every single time in my videos for showcases and whatnot. So I play a lot of Trails. I'm playing a Trails game right now, actually. And just a lot of JRPGs. I played like Persona on stream, Trails right now, Tales of Arise is coming up soon. I'm playing that. And just a lot of JRPGs. I'm a big fan of JRPGs because I'm a big advocate of MMORPGs. And as of right now, there's no MMORPGs coming out that I personally like. So JRPGs are the next best substitute for me, and that's why I play JRPGs. So I play a lot of those, and those are my favorite as of right now. And that's pretty much it for consoles and whatnot. Nope, not a lot of PC games because there's nothing I'm really interested in, but I play a lot of JRPGs, which are basically console games on PC. Do you have any plans for streaming a new game this year? Doesn't matter if it's gacha or not. Yes, I do actually. I've been talking about this for about 1 or 2 weeks now. In about 3 weeks or so, I plan on streaming on my Twitch channel Lost Ark. Yes, Lost Ark. Some of you guys may have heard of it, some of you guys may not have heard of it. But I used to play a game called Dungeon Fighters Online, and Dungeon Fighters Online is what Lost Ark is based off of. Lost Ark is the successor to Dungeon Fighters Online, so it will be no stranger game to me. I'm in a position right now where I'm dying to play a new game. Azure Lane as of right now is pretty much done for me. I'm done with my account as of right now. The only thing I have left to do is just get more PR gear and just wait for cog chips because I need cog chips right now. So I am looking to do some streams for Lost Ark. For YouTube videos, I'm not sure because it's going to be a competitive market out there. I'm not going to lie. For Lost Ark, I may do it, I may not do it. I'm not sure yet. But I will stream it for maybe a week or two and see how I feel about it. And then we'll go on from there. But I do plan on playing that game when it comes out in early February. So if you guys watch my Twitch channel, you guys will be able to see me next month play that game. How interested are you in World War II naval history, and did it change with Azure Lane? So before I got into Azure Lane, I wasn't really into World War II history at all. And I will say this. To this very day, I don't care that much about history, but I will say that this game taught me a lot about the history, like Juno and the five brothers or whatever, Enterprise being just a lucky ship that never got hit by bombs or whatever. That's also a thing. Amagi got hit by earthquakes, stuff like that. Like, there's some stuff I never learned about or knew about in history that I learned from this game. To this very day, I'm not that interested in history, but I will say that whenever an opportunity arises and I learn something about this game that I never knew before, I always take that. I will always take that new information, even though I'm personally not like going out of my way to learn about history. If I learn something about this game, whether it's from like a story or just like factual knowledge from just someone that tells me things, I'm down for it. How to manage the storage without expanding ships, gears, prints, etc. You're gonna have to, if you're going for collection, you're gonna have to sell ships. As for gear, if you have gear, just toss them onto ships that you don't use. And as for prints, you're just gonna have to farm a lot. That's pretty much it. You're gonna have to play a lot. How long have you been playing for? I've been playing since the game came out, which was I think like August 8th, I think, or August something. It was like the first or second week of August of 2018. So I played since then. Well, I played closed beta, but officially I played when it first came out. So as of right now, it's been like what, 3.5 years now. I've been playing quite a lot, guys, and to this very day, I never missed a login day except once, and this was back during the Micro Medley's first ever event. And the servers were down. Well, my server was down for Avra, was down for a full day. That was the only time I never actually logged into the game. In my 1,000 whatever days playing this game, I only missed one day, and it was because the servers were down for a full day. That was a fun day as well. I had a blast yelling in my Discord, "Oh my god, when the server's coming up," and stuff like that. I'd like to know what made KimoCheese so salty. Who hurt you? Burnout, guys. Burnout. I play this game a lot because I will play to make content. If you guys haven't noticed, I uploaded almost every single day last year because I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. So, burnout. I also stream 5 days a week as well too because I want to try to grow my Twitch channel as well too. So, I'm tired. Yes, video games is not an excuse for being tired or whatnot, but it's exhausting. Having to play, keep up my account, make content for you guys, and stream and stuff like that, it gets tiring, guys. I don't have breaks. Not when it comes to my YouTube channel and Twitch and whatnot. I don't take breaks. I should, but I don't. So, burnout. And when I'm burnt out and I'm tired, I get mad. And I'm on edge most of the time. So, that's why. If you could bring 3 Azure Lane waifus IRL, who would they be? Monarch, Swiftsure, and either Hood or Illustrious. I'm not sure. Probably Hood. I'll go with Hood. Bang, marry, kill. Bremerton, Taiho, Anchorage. I would Bang. Ooh, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. Okay, let's go with I'll bang Taiho. I'll marry Bremerton, and I'll kill Anchorage. I guess that's the best option. I'll just go with that. What are your rituals to gain luck for banners? So I have not like rituals, but like I do things for specific gacha games I play. Like I have Grand Blue, Princess Connect, Arc Knight, stuff like that. What I do in these games is that, or in Agile specifically, like I change my secretary. So let's say there's like a KMS event, I change my secretary to a KMS ship. I do 5 polls as well. It's not like a ritual thing. I do 5 polls because if I get the ship in the first 5 polls, then I save cubes. So let's say I'm missing one more ship and I pull 5 and I get them there. Rather than wasting a 10 pull there, I do a 5 pull and I save 10 more cubes because it's 5 more pulls. That's why I do it. But that's basically it. I don't have that many rituals. RNG is RNG. I also change channels as well too. So changing channels and secretaries. Aside from that though, it's all tinfoil. It doesn't really do anything. It just makes me feel better. What are you doing when you're not playing Azure Lane? I watch streams. I watch a lot of Soda Poppin', Lakari, Vebe, those people, Moon. I watch a lot of streamers. I listen to music a lot of like Japanese pop music, game music, stuff like that. Or I'm just playing like other gacha games pretty much. And if I'm not doing that, I'm working on videos, streaming, or like just exercising, stuff like that as well too. What are your thoughts between Dido and Stag anti-airs? So they're both about the same in terms of performance. The reason why I use Dido AAs more is because I like the flat firepower, whereas Stag, it gives hit. Now hit is 2 things. It gives accuracy, it gives a little bit of crit rate. So crit rate is obviously good because critting shells in this game, especially for battleships, is very powerful. That being said, if I'm gonna sit there and grind out content for like one tap stuff, like one shot clearing meta clears and whatnot, I'd rather do firepower because I'm just gonna sit there and reset for the crits or whatever until I get it. So you could get better hit for more crit rate, you can, but me personally, I prefer just having this flat damage. It's more reliable to me. Not to mention, nowadays, aside from like arbiter fights, all bosses are like roughly around 125 levels, so you don't need that much accuracy. I would just stack off firepower at that point because accuracy is only important when the boss has a lot of evasion. And when bosses have a lot of evasion, most of the time it means they're higher level than you by a large margin. So arbiter fights are 130, you're 125. You kind of want to use stack buffers there. Whereas meta fights, they're like 120, 126, you're 125. It's only one level. It's only a 1 level difference. So I'd rather stack firepower there. Do you have any plans on playing first-person shooters on this channel? I played Halo Infinite. I didn't make videos or stream. Oh, I think I streamed it for like a day, but that was about it. It could happen. Doubtful though, because I really like grinding. Because if there's one thing I want people to know me for, now I could be playing shooter games, yeah, but I'm not like. Shooter games aren't something I'm like very confident in. I can probably place like top 10%, but to me, top 10% isn't that big of an achievement. I'd rather play something that's like grindy or like RTS where I can excel at, because it gives people a reason to watch me, right? Like, wow, this guy's really good at RTS or whatever, or like he knows how to grind efficiently and stuff like that. I should watch him. I want people to watch me for that because they know I know how to play efficiently and whatnot. FPS games, I'm a boomer now. Reflexes are kind of bad, but for the most part, I'm like kind of whatever at FPS games. I'm not terrible, but I'm not like a god at it. So probably not. But if I do it, then great. Favorite Azure Lane feat? Hai. Why? Okay, so why is Final Fantasy X the best Final Fantasy game? It is not. Final Fantasy X is overrated. Titus is a beta cuck for obvious reasons. Final Fantasy IV is way better. Do you like Rimuru? The anime is great. I hate getting him 4 times in the Arc Knight's banner though. I hate that. Have you played Destiny? I played Destiny 2 for like a day or two. I got bored of it, but funny thing is, when I was playing Logos back in 2017, I think I was really committed to going into Destiny 2 for just YouTube content when it came out like late 2017. But I held off because Destiny 2 when it first came out was awful, so I never did it. But I really wanted to back then, but I just said no. Who is best girl? I have a video for that, and it's Monarch. So that's my AMA for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys learned something, and just thank you guys for watching. I was I was asked like earlier this week to make a 2022 video thanking you guys, but I'll do it in this video. Thank you guys for a great 2021. I'm glad you guys stuck around to this channel, and I hope you guys stick around for more. This may be Azure Lane's channel for most part, but I do want to expand my channel in the future. Don't know when or don't know how, but I do. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great start of 2022, I guess.